What is up, guys? It is the Sportster Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website, it's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. Yours surely just dropped a Live PGA Tour merger article just a few seconds ago, actually, right before I got on the show. We'll be talking about that to start the show tonight. Big news in the golf world. We are also part of Mancini Media. We are part of the Game Winner Sports Network and the Snowball Multimedia Sports as well. Welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday. We are in the beginning of June. Here in Florida, we've already had a hurricane already. Hurricane season started on the 1st. We've already had a hurricane already. So, well, not a hurricane, but a tropical storm. It didn't hit me, but, so there you go. But anyway, guys, we have three sponsors. We are sponsored by creatingzenspaces.com. It is the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. And guys, remember, creating Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We are also sponsored by, let me pull this up, Garrett's Carrots. Illuminate your inner self, shatter the trendy norms, and open up your world to a newfound level of confidence and admiration. Garrett's Carrots, designer jewelry and luxury accessories at garrettscarrots.com. We are also sponsored by funwags.com. Born from a near tragedy, a dog had a bad reaction from a store brand treat, Fueled to Succeed, with treats made from 3 to 5 ingredients you can pronounce. We invite you to try funwags.com because your fur babies deserve the best. Head over to funwags.com. Guys, also, I am running a weight loss challenge online. I have a friend of mine who does it. You can win 500 pounds and lose 10 plus pounds in 21 days. The Summer Transformation Challenge. That's what these two clients did in my last challenge. Both over 10 pounds and $500. Things you'll get from the challenge: learn how to lose weight without a fad diet, grocery shopping list, 15-minute home workout, boost metabolism, learn how to keep the weight off, improve gut health, optimize hormone, weekly accountability calls, access to all of my guides and cheat sheets, and regain your energy and confidence. And then, of course, so that is my friend that is running that weight loss challenge. If anyone's interested, let me know. I'll get you in touch with him. Let me bring on my 4 great co-hosts. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going, guys? Bring them on here.
Going well. Hope you're staying okay with the weather.
Yeah, the storm didn't hit me, so I'm okay. So yeah. How's everyone else doing? How's everyone else doing? Doing better? Feeling better? Kicking ass? Taking names? That type of thing?
Well, we got our own thing here with fire problems with the smoke.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that later on. It's in Canada, right? There's wildfires in Toronto.
All over Canada, actually.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to everyone that's been affected by those fires in Canada.
Yes. With the smoke effects.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's crazy. There's pockets of fog and smoke everywhere, man. Around the New York and Connecticut area, it's like inundated. People are kind of leery of even going outside to walk their dogs. It's pretty insane. I've definitely never experienced anything like it. I'm definitely, if stuff hits the fan, I'm not like trying to overreact, but it's definitely taking people aback a little bit over here. Kind of weird. It's never been seen before.
We get wildfires down here every once in a while. Summertime, we don't get a lot of rain. We get wildfires down here. So, but anyway, I'm like I said earlier, we will start with the one of the biggest announcements I think in sports over the past couple weeks. Something is up with our sound. Is somebody replicating? Is that me?
Can't tell.
Somebody. That's weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the sound. It sounds like it's me. I see something. Is it still? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
How about now? No, it's still. Interesting.
Still doing it.
Why is there still feedback?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Hang on just for a second.
Is that any better?
That sounds much better. Cool. Where'd Alex go? Did he jump off there?
Yeah, I don't know where he went.
But since you weren't here last week, man, I want to thank you so much for that trip to North Carolina, man. I really had a lot of fun.
I had a blast.
I wanted to thank you so much for that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
I can't wait for his trip down here to Austin next year for Coda.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you
looking forward.
something, Gerald. He's really a cool guy to hang out with. Yeah, he really is. It was like I said, great trip, man. Came and circled the Charlotte airport 2 or 3 times when he came to pick me up at the airport. So yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was fun too.
Well, I'd never picked anyone up from the airport before, so I made a lap. I didn't realize I got stuck in the outside lane, so I got shuffled out, and I couldn't get back inside. So I just well, I'm just making a lap. I'll come. I called him up. I'm like, hey, because I didn't see him sitting there, so I was like, hey, I'm making a lap. I'll be back in a minute. So it took me. I went around the block, came back up, and picked him up. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my headphones.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's wait till he flies into ABIA down here. He's really gonna get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't realize how big of an airport Atlanta was until I flew into Atlanta.
Oh, ABIA.
That's a big
Yeah, I mean, Brad, visiting out in Florida too, man. Yeah, I know there's different levels. I mean, Lou, you know, like the New Jersey, New York, the New York airports are just brutal. They suck.
Which
Everywhere
one?
else I go is so much better as far as the airports and transportation.
Yeah, but which one is the
I mean,
worst?
Tampa was so good. You walk in, there's palm trees, and you're in and out in 5 minutes. Literally, the baggage claim, you're on the road. I was saying maybe Lou, like LaGuardia and JFK are just there's construction and 5,000 angry people yelling, and it takes an hour and a jizz. It's whatever. It's
Hey,
total
Adam,
fiasco.
just wait till you fly into ABIA. You're gonna get lost. It's a huge.
So
airport.
it was a good trip overall, Brad. Hanging out with Adam.
Yeah, I mean the only disappointment obviously is the race got rained out. But I still got to see the track. I think me and him both on race day were like soaking wet and cold, and we decided to just forego it, go back to the hotel, and didn't get pneumonia because I think we both would have gotten pneumonia had we hung out there. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Adam took me to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and I was getting schooled because I don't know a lot about NASCAR, and it was fun to have somebody there that knows the stuff to show me what was going on. One of the cool things was that we got to sit through a hour seminar about how they not only nominate but elect their drivers to the Hall of Fame. So that was pretty. Cool. I got to shake hands with one of the guys in the museum, so that was pretty darn cool too. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely go back to Charlotte. No doubt about that. I would definitely go back to Charlotte.
Brad, you need to come down here. You need to come down here to Austin.
You know what? Because you got UT there. I'm sure I'll be. Now that they're going to be in the SEC next year, I'll have to make a trip off to add that to the list of visiting the stadiums in the SEC.
And maybe if I had the money, maybe you and I can get together and go watch a game down there.
It would be kind of cool, Gerald, if the Gators happen to be in Austin. Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, I can just picture it now. A UT fan sitting with a Gator fan. Yeah, that would go out real well.
I'm sure that I would get picked on a lot. So I'm more than prepared for that. So.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, I mean, we got to see the Charlotte Knights. That's the AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. No games, but we got to see what their stadium was. I got to see Bank of America, where the Carolina Panthers play, and it was announced today that Bryce Schilling is going to be the starting quarterback. I guess that's no surprise since he was the first overall pick in the draft. You definitely don't sit a guy that you picked number 1 overall in the draft.
Looking great.
But
no kidding.
Yeah. But anyway, so again, the big announcement coming this week was something that I didn't never think that I would ever see, that the Live Tour and PGA Tour are merging. That is something that I didn't think I would ever see. But it's going to happen, and it's going to happen probably by the end of this year. I don't know what the scheduling is going to be like. They're going to schedule PGA events, Live events, or if it's going to be they're going to merge them all together and have one big schedule. I don't really know. Roy McIlroy has come out and said that he hates Live, still hates Live, hopes it goes away. I don't know what is happening.
Yep.
One of the guys that runs the PIF fund in Saudi Arabia is on the board now of the PGA Tour. I'm assuming that the funding now will come from the Saudi Arabian government, which means if you think about it, the Saudis just bought the PGA Tour in a way that you can look at that and say that they just bought the PGA Tour. And at the end of the day, Liv wins because, again, they were banished, right? They were called jerks for leaving. And at the end of the day, their tour won and the almighty dollar won. So at the end of the day, that was the biggest thing, is that Liv won the battle. They won the war. The PGA Tour did not. I don't know if it had something to do with Brooks Koepka winning the PGA Championship. I think that had a lot to do with it. So, and Mickelson finishing second at the Masters and Patrick Reed finishing in the top 10. You have too many Liv guys finishing, near the top. I'm wondering if – now here's the question I have to you guys. Should they get rid of Jay Monahan, who's the PGA Tour commissioner? That's the question I have to ask. Throw that out there. Let you guys take a dab at that.
I think he's on his way. On his way out after this. I'm not surprised about this merger coming. With all the LAV coming over and playing in the major tournaments. So something had to give. I mean, you knew it couldn't keep up this way forever. I thought maybe it would take a little bit longer for a merger to happen, but I'm not surprised this took place at all. I'm not. I suspected a merger between the PGA and the Live, whatever you would call it, what was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, but nevertheless, I knew it was coming.
I second that, because I thought that, the handwriting was on the wall. Liv had all the money.
Right.
And before this is self-preservation for the PGA. It's card IRL all over again. And if PGA doesn't make a move now, Liv is going to eat them alive. So if you don't make this merger today, if they tried to hold out, Liv would just continue to build and build and build, and more PGA guys would jump ship. And at that point, you lose all your leverage. If all the PGA guys end up on the Live Tour and they don't have any stars, then or a better example is WCW. It's the Live Tour comes in and buys the PGA for pennies on the dollar. And so, I don't know why everyone was all shocked and dismayed by this. It's just business.
I mean,
At the end of the day, it's just business. It's a business decision, and you can be all holier than thou if you want, but at the end of the day, it's all business.
and plus
And
the LIV players playing in the PGA Championship, which which I think is another factor there because they were supposed to those players were supposed to be out of that tournament. I thought only the Masters was the exception, but all that coming in now. So I think something had to be coming in when they crossed that line of them playing in the PGA Championship because I said it was the PGA Championship, not the PGA LAV Championship. So that I think something had to be coming up after that happened. Like, hey, I'm
yeah.
Brady. Guess what?
Yeah.
Well,
Stu, you have the
And
U.S.
Adam,
Open.
I can definitely appreciate and respect what Adam said too.
Go ahead, Alex.
I can appreciate what Adam's saying, and this is never personal. At the end of the day, money. At the end of the day, money talks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, money plays, man.
I guess it was on the verge of money's always going to reign supreme. So if it was going to go through, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. You can't, sound holier than thou. So I agree with what Adam said. Seems like it's for the betterment. I guess to keep the sport going strong. So it had to happen. I'm not.
Well, it's like
Were there other ways it could have happened? Yeah, but I guess at the end of the day, we're gonna still enjoy the product, still love the players. So
yeah,
and think about it like this: if the USFL were to get popular in a year or two, the NFL is going to eat them up because the NFL is not going to let them become a competitor. They will put up whatever billion, put another zero on that, and they will make them kiss the ring.
Yeah.
And if the Live Tour were to continue to gain popularity and were to continue to be a threat to the PGA,
you're right.
There was never. This is a war that they could not win. So before you fight the war, you sue for peace, and all the PGA guys can be all butthurt because the Live Tour ended up getting absorbed by the PGA anyway. But you made your bed, you got to lie in it. The Rory McIlroys of the world, who are crying not fair foul. They're not the ones that at the end of the day have to pay out the prize money. They're not the ones that have to make sure that there's a tournament next year. They're not the ones. They just get to play, and they're not the ones that are negotiating these multi-billion-dollar contracts that are putting food on the tables for thousands of people. And it's that's them's the breaks. That's how business works. Mm-hmm. It's a dog eat dog world, and if you don't show up ready to play, you're gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, again, I think, like you said, we all saw this writing on the wall. I think, like Adam said, that what would have happened if they didn't merge? Exactly what Adam said. You would have had more stars being paid to go over there. So now when I get see the thing that I think that got Jay Monahan in deep trouble was bringing up 9/11. And again, that's why a lot of people hate the Live Tour, because it is funded by the Saudi Arabian government, which entitled bombing 9/11, having those planes run into the 2 World Trade Centers, killing a bunch of people, running a plane into the Pentagon. One of the planes that was grounded was going to hit the White House. So, again, I think bringing up 9/11 is what got him in hot water. And now that the tours are merging together, he's got to answer those questions. As far as Rory McIlroy goes, he's the one who, went out on as they say, go out on your shield. He's the one who went out there and, backed Monahan up. And now, in a way, Monahan just backstabbed him. But again, at the end of the day, I don't know who owns the PGA Tour. It's not the players. I don't know if it's the sponsors or if it's the events that are, the sponsors that run the events, the club makers. I don't know who owns the PGA, but I'm telling you right now, it wasn't a Jay Monahan thing. These people behind the scenes told Monahan, hey, leave the players in the dark. We're merging, and that's it. You're gonna get heated, but that's the way it's gonna be. And you're gonna, and again, there'll be people, just like with everything, that will not watch golf now because the Live Tour is back with the PGA. And you know what? That's fine. If that's what happens, that's what happens. As a golf fan, the reason that I love this is because of what it's doing right now. It wouldn't have been talked about other than the U.S. Open coming up. If the Live Tour didn't exist, we'd be talking about the U.S. Open. That's about it. Golf is only popular when Tiger is playing and when there's majors. Outside of that, no one talks about the game of golf. Because you let me know, other than the Golf Channel, who talks about golf. Nobody.
Right.
So,
well, we talked about the fact that golf is one, boring on TV. It's not exciting.
Correct.
It's hard to get the casual sports. I'm not talking about the casual golf fan. I'm talking about the casual sport. The casual sports fan.
Right there. So, Brad, I think you nailed it on the head right there. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Right.
And when Tiger isn't playing, you're not capturing the casual sports fan. The guy that's looking for something to watch on a Sunday afternoon is not flipping on golf in June.
No.
And exposing the what really killed golf was the fact that so many guys that played golf were old. There were so many guys that were into golf that played golf. They were old, and then when they're kids, they tried to get their kids into the game, and golf is a good walk ruined. And so when you don't have, and golf is prohibitively expensive. If you're looking at picking up a set of clubs, especially if you're an offhand, like I am, if you're left-handed, you're going to spend $8,000, $9,000, $1,200 for a good set of clubs. And then, if you want to play, if you want to consistently play, if you're going to play every week, you're going to spend, if you get a club membership, you're looking at $300 a month.
Oh yeah.
And even if you play at a public course, you play once a week, you're looking at $45 a week to play for one guy. If you get a foursome together, you're looking at $200-$300 for all four of you to play. That's just to play. That's not including, any drinks or any food. Golf is a prohibitively expensive sport to play. And then the average guy is not the average golfer. You can get with your friends and play a pickup basketball game and have fun. You can throw the football around, have fun. But to play golf, you need a very specific set of equipment. You need a very specific place that you can play. Or you can go to Top Golf and hit balls for an hour and go home. That has a lot of appeal.
I have one opening closer to me now too. So
it's geared towards a more affluent.
Yeah.
It's more like Adam said. It's more for an affluent demographic, right? I'm not going to throw a huge.
It definitely is, Alex. I mean, I've been one of the lucky
game, but it's like you said. That's almost like hockey. Hockey, getting a pair of skates, getting shoulder pads. You don't need that to go on the hard court, whether in your Bronx or somewhere in Indiana or Ohio. You can grab a basketball and go play 3-on-3 with 5 other buddies. That's cost effective.
Yeah.
The old school sports. I mean, it's more of an affluent sport. And what Adam said about kind of those almost swing votes, the fringe fans, honestly, 9 times out of 10, someone like me, I'm on the fence. I'm not a big golf guy. I love sports to death. I'm not a huge golf aficionado. Tiger is, like, he nailed it on the head. He's the type of guy that gets me going, okay, I won't change the channel on a Sunday afternoon. Let's see what Tiger does. So he kind of gets that swing vote out of someone like me, the merger.
That's one with Jack.
Well, but if Tiger
NFL fan.
And Adam's right too. I mean, again, I've been fortunate enough to be playing since I was 5. My first set of golf clubs were given to me by my uncle. I didn't buy my first set until I was in my teenage years.
Nice.
So, and you can go on Amazon and get one for $200. What I always recommend, if anybody's going to pick the game up, go and get the cheapest set of clubs you can get. If you're going to stick with it, as you get better, upgrade your equipment. Even me, like I got to upgrade my equipment soon too. What I'm saying is, as you get better, upgrade. Don't go out and spend $1,000 on a set of golf clubs.
Right.
Don't go out and buy Pro V1s that are $55 a dozen when you can buy balls that are $20 or $10, or even go to a local golf shop. They'll give you a bag of balls that you don't even know what they are for $5 or $10, or at the flea market. Don't go out and spend a lot of money, because that's what I try to tell everyone that starts the game. I didn't start the game off with expensive equipment. I had to earn that. So that's my advice to anyone out there. Yeah, correct.
But even then, if you do, you go that route and you pick up a $200 set of clubs.
Right.
If you're not right-handed, if you try to get into the game as someone who's not right-handed, say I was fortunate my grandpa was left-handed, so I used his clubs, and he swung left-handed, and so I was fortunate in that regard. But when you go to a Dunham's or a Dick's Sporting Goods or an Academy, if you want a set of specialty clubs because you're not right-handed, that $200 you're going to double that easy. And so you either learn to play right-handed or you're going to spend the money. Correct. And I'm not comfortable from the right side. So, I think that the problem with golf is that they don't have any superstars. There's no one out there challenging Tiger for the throne. And we've talked about this. We've talked about this before. But the fact is that when the 08 recession hit, when all the .com money dried up, and the suits weren't out on the course 3 times a week, and all those white collar jobs went away, and people lost interest when it was to play golf, you're looking at $1,000 a year. Well, that's the same kind of money as an NFL ticket. Right. I can get an NFL ticket to my home team, for something that I actually want to watch, and something that I actually want to participate in. And the fact of the matter is that golf is incredibly hard. Yes. The average person can't play golf. The average person can understand a football game or a basketball game. The average person played baseball growing up. Whether he quit in after Little League, he quit playing at 12, he still understands the game. But the average person can't sit there and watch, and the other thing is like a football game is one game. A hockey game is one game. A NASCAR race is one race. A soccer game is one game. Golf is a 4-day event. So if you don't watch Thursday and Friday, everything that's happening on Saturday means nothing. If you're just like, I'm just going to watch the final round on Sunday, you've missed 3 days of golf, and so it loses a lot of steam. Yeah, and that valley that when you turn it on, let's say you're watching something at 1:00, and you're like, oh, that's over. So you're flipping channels, you see the golf's on. You turn the golf on, and you have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pull in the casual sports fan.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that.
It's more of an extended event. Yeah, and I think this type of merger makes, at least when you keep the Tigers of the world, that hooks in those guys on the fence, guys and gals like me that might want to watch, might not want to watch. I think it's for the betterment of the viewership, for ratings, and like me, you, and everyone's brother and sister agrees, cash is king. So it had to be done, and it got done.
I think it's better for the game at the end of the day. I do. I think it's better for the game at the end of the day. They also got the DP World Tour also involved. So I think at the end of the day, they'll come up with some massive schedule. There might be some team golf like they do on the Live Tour, where they might have teams with players being on teams and winning team money and stuff like that. We'll see. But the schedule and stuff is far from being finalized. So I just wanted to ask you guys' opinion on that particular thing that went on earlier in the week. I think it was on Tuesday, I think is when that was announced. So
yes.
Yeah.
So the next thing we could talk about is where are they? They're in Sonoma this week, correct?
They are.
For NASCAR?
Yep.
Tell me what happened with Chase Elliott. He got into a fight at Charlotte. What is he suspended or is he back?
He was suspended last week.
Last week, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
He got doored 3 times and hooked. He got doored 3 times on lap 186 and then got wrecked off a 4 and just hooked the 11th cent.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he took out another driver in retrospect, right?
Oh dear.
Yep.
Yeah, another driver.
Well, I mean, what do you expect? You door a guy 3 times and then put him in the fence.
Right, of course.
I mean,
Poking the bear.
you know, you take your week off and you get back after it at Sonoma. I mean, it is what it is. You know, we're on to Sonoma. As Bill Belichick might like to say, we're on to Sonoma.
As Bill Belichick would say, we're on to the next one. I don't want to talk about the last week.
No, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's over and done with, and you know, the thing about it is that that's Hamlin's MO. He'll run you like a dog every lap. Just run you like a dog every lap. But if you repay him, if you do him in kind, he's throwing a fit. He'll run you like a dog. And you've got to give him room. You better give him room. But if you hold your ground, and he's done it. He's done it for years. He is a bully. And then
I didn't realize.
I mean,
I'm learning about it.
Me too, Alex.
Get what you deserve.
And you take your suspension and you move on.
That doesn't sound right to me.
I mean, it's
exactly. Hit him back.
It's the
Mom told us growing up, right?
It's the monster it's the monster they've created.
Exactly.
The problem is that you can't drag the car on the bottom anymore. And that was what it was. His Hamlin was on the inside and Elliott was on the outside. Yeah. And Hamlin doored him 3 times and put him in the fence up off of 4, and Elliott just turned left. I mean, if you're gonna ruin my race, I'm taking you out.
Yeah, seriously,
and if that's
closest to us, right? If I remember correctly, turn 4 was the one that was closest to us.
Barking me,
yeah.
Okay.
Barking me,
yeah, we were right there in turn 4. I mean, and that's the way I look at it. Is like, should you turn down, hook somebody, and turn them head on into the wall? No, probably not. But how do you police it? I mean, because the thing is like, if you just give up the spot, then the bullying tactic works. I mean, if you're not going to give somebody racing room.
Yeah.
If you're not going to give me room to race,
it's almost like
if you're going to crown me
like an unwritten rule. Yeah.
We're 100. And I understand there's a certain level of give and take that has to be done, right? And the fact of the matter is, we're only 180 laps into the race of a 400 lap event. You give me room now, and I'll give you room later. No, on the last lap, going for the win, I get it. No quarter. I'm fine with that. You bang a guy out of the way. with the understanding that he's not going to give you any quarter. You know, you get raced the way you race. And that's been Hamlin's MO ever since he got to Cup. You know, he expects you to give him all the room and get out of his way, but he ain't got a lift for you.
No.
And you know, and he's done it to Elliott multiple times. And if that's the way he wants to race, that's fine. You know, and if you look at it objectively and you say what should be done, it's one, you know, it's 1 week. You take your suspension, you take the week off, and you go get him at Sonoma. I mean, you know, if that's the way he wants to race you, you know, that's fine. I'm just not gonna give him an inch. You know, if you're not gonna race me clean, why the bleep should I race you clean?
Yeah. Eye for an eye.
Adam, has he done this more than just?
Oh yeah, he does it all the time.
Also, he thinks that you have to give him every inch, but he's not going to give it. Well, then no wonder why drivers don't like him. Because I wouldn't either. If somebody was going to do that to me, I'd take him out too.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the way he is. He won't give you an inch 180 laps into a 400 lap race.
Yeah.
But then he's throwing a fit when you bump him out of the way with a lap to go. I mean,
wow.
And again, you know, we're on to Sonoma.
And then he cries bloody murder if you talk to him.
Yeah.
He bullies you.
Yeah, well, and that's
ridiculous.
And that's the thing. You know, a couple years back in 2017, he just sends Elliott, and this is not the first time they've had a run-in. He just sends Elliott into 3 at Martinsville, absolutely dumps him. Just absolutely dumps him. And that's short track racing. That's just short track racing. And then when something like this happens, oh, that could kill a guy. I mean, can it kill a guy, or is that just racing? It can't be both, bud. It can't be both.
Nope.
I'm kind of glad I took last week off, because I would have been suspended a week myself.
Right.
Because last week I was even more fired up than I am this week.
Well, actually, we didn't really get into. You can ask Lou and Gerald. We didn't really get into a lot of topics. It was pretty cool to have Ashton on and letting her tell her story about Special Olympics and her book. And she's a pretty cool person. Yeah. I'm happy that we had her on last week. Yeah, we didn't. I think we talked for maybe 30 minutes prior to her coming on. So yeah, it was very short lived.
I couldn't stay on much. My thing kept bouncing out, but I'm sure no one missed my ugly mug. I got a face for radio. But yeah.
You know, always turn your camera off.
Alex, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather do radio too. I'd rather do radio too.
Adam, I told you to play drums too. You're trolling down there like Neil Peart, man. You're getting me I'm gonna fire some Pantera later, some Zeppelin.
I got my kid over there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Idle hands are the devil's plaything. So
there you go, man. Double bass, preferably.
So
better than one.
Let's see if F1 will be a little bit better. How about we talk about that?
I can talk a little F1. I'm looking forward to Le Mans this weekend, though.
Is that where the F1 race is this week?
No. It's sports cars. They're Le Mans. The 24-hour Le Mans. It's the 100th anniversary of the 24 hours of Le Mans this weekend. And NASCAR sent a car.
Gotcha.
So Garage 56. It's American muscle. It's glorious.
Well, I must have deleted my F1 picture because I don't see it in here.
Rice burners.
I'll have to. Yeah, no.
No replacement for displacement, baby. Keep dropping them. Not quite Neil Peart over here.
I just got a
Give
cut
me
last week,
American
Adam.
muscle over
Finally again.
Japanese 4-cylinder anytime.
12-cylinder.
We can do. Let's do that.
Fresh.
Do this instead.
200 miles an hour out of a 4-cylinder, though,
Right.
is impressive.
Well, I still take my American. I still take my American muscle V8
Whoa.
over them anytime.
I want to send my heart
260.
condolences to the family of Iron Sheik. He passed
Yeah.
away at 81 this week. One of the legends in the WWF before it became the WWE.
Yeah.
But definitely that.
Yep.
I saw, Gerald, that they gave Roman Reigns a new belt to unify the WWE. It's gold in the middle instead of the black and blue. They went the gold in the middle. I saw that the other night. It looks like to me that the bloodline, other than Solo Sikoa, looks like the Usos are out. I'm gonna imagine after what he did to Jay.
Tomorrow night on SmackDown, Jay has a decision to make. What side is he going to follow? Is he going to stay with Jimmy, or go over with Solo and
Roman?
Okay. Now, I don't see Jay turning his back on his own brother Jimmy, because they started in the business together. So I think he's going to stay with Jimmy.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
But yes, we have seen the fall of the bloodline.
I think that's about 3 years too late.
Yeah, they've been on for a long time. That coalition's been together for a long time.
I think the Judgment Day has friction going on in their camp too.
I think most factions have about a 3-year shelf life. I think you have to break them up after about 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, look at steel.
Yeah.
And you know, the Uso brothers, they should be solo acts. They should be the bloodline. The bloodline should have solo careers, so that when their stories intersect, that they can reform the bloodline for big events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Night of Champions.
Oh yeah, for the long game, it makes much more sense. Yep. Yeah.
And the problem,
the next big pay-per-view is SummerSlam, right? I think that's the next big pay-per-view.
No, it's Money in the Bank.
Oh, Money in the Bank. That's right. That's the next one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be in London.
I need that match.
And the thing about it is that the Usos, in my opinion, the Usos should be challenging Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in solo. That should be the focus of their careers, is to build that rivalry, and then they can challenge Roman Reigns. And the problem is that Roman's the sacred cow, and you can't beat Roman for whatever reason. They won't take the belt off of him. I don't know if he has nude photos of Vince McMahon or something, or what the deal is.
He's got more dirt. He's got more dirt than Tommy Lee.
The Triple H.
He's got more dirt than Neil.
Thank you, Adam.
He's got something going on.
Now, thank you, Adam. Thank you very much for that image.
Well, you know, nightmare fuel for the rest of the week, no problem. Right. Just one of the many free services I provide.
Yeah.
For about others.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is why we're not getting the Pat McAfee at ESPN deal.
Correct. We'll get the Barstool Sports thing where we could just do what we're doing right now.
Sounds good to me.
But
yeah,
I think if anyone is going to take the belt off of Roman, it's going to be Solo Sikoa. I know he protected Roman, but something tells me there's going to be a big match, and he's going to be the one who turns his back on Roman. And that's going to be the guy that they hand the belt to, because that's the guy that's the hottest right now in that group is Solo Sikoa. I could definitely see that happening. If it's not it's SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah.
But
SummerSlam rolls around. Solo's going to have enough of Roman's butt crap. And he's going to turn on Roman. And there's going to be a big deal at SummerSlam. Solo's going to take out Roman and win the belt and going to go on to have a better career.
I just don't see it.
I do.
I just don't see it because Roman's weathered every storm, and and I think that's
Roman's time is coming up.
Yeah,
they keep saying that. They've been saying that for 5 years, ever since 2017, 2018. When they first put the belt on him. Well, Roman won't have that long of a run, and yet every time that somebody says he's going to lose the belt this week, this is the event he's losing the belt at, he retains.
But now,
he didn't drop the belt.
But now, stop and think. He doesn't have the Usos to help him.
But even when it was him and Lesnar, and Lesnar was the fan favorite, and Lesnar had all the momentum, he still didn't go over Roman.
Yeah, because Roman had Jimmy and Jey Uso there to help him.
Do you know that now that I think about it, you know who might take the belt away from him? He did it at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins. You watch if he's not the one. I know he has the World Heavyweight Championship, whatever the belt is on Raw.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if he doesn't lose that belt and goes to SmackDown and takes it away, because then it would be the whole Shield thing again. As Adam was just saying, you break the Shield up so that when they break apart and come back for big events. Don't be surprised if they don't pull that line, that they bring Seth. Because you can't bring back what's his name? He's in AEW.
Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
What's his name in AEW?
I don't remember.
Oh wow,
John Moxley.
I forgot about him. He's in purgatory. He's been in purgatory.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back. Either is CM Punk. So everybody can stop with that dream. He's not coming back to WWE anytime soon. So.
Well, they had everybody pegged. Everybody had Cody Rhodes pegged that they take the belt off of Roman earlier this year, and it didn't happen.
Good point.
Again, Adam, the Usos.
But that's not what we're. The problem isn't the Usos. The problem is the storytelling.
Yeah.
The problem is the writing. They're not writing Roman to lose. And even regardless of whether the Usos are there or not, even if the Usos interfere, that's writing. That's the story that they're telling, and the storyline that they're telling is Roman is invincible, but he's not popular. He's not Goldberg. He's not a Hogan. He's not a hero.
They won't let it go.
He's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's just.
There's something going on. He's got dirt on him or something. He's like the never ending. It's like enough. Get him off the. Sit in the throne. I mean, enough's enough.
And they say that John Cena wouldn't lose.
Is he going to dominate?
I think John Cena should win the belt one more time and break Ric Flair's record. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
That would be cool. I'd be all right with that.
Even if he wins, if Cena wins and it's one night,
come on.
It's one night. He loses it the next night on Raw or SmackDown, because Cena's now doing the Peacemaker TV show on Showtime, and he's done. And they just Fast movie. There's one more left. What they say
for now.
That another series is going to end and never ends. But
they need to stop that. They need to stop that series. They should have stopped it after Paul Walker died.
Thank you, Gerald.
But
I agree with
10 years too late for that.
That's what I was thinking too.
It should have been done at that point.
They're
too much
making
money.
A new movie every 2 weeks at this point. Enough's enough. They got to cut the cord. They got to cut the cord on that.
Well, according to what
stop going to him.
left.
3 weeks. Sorry, 3 weeks.
People that made the show,
3 weeks.
that really made the movie, it's
But after Barker died, it wasn't the same.
Was a character Paul Walker,
Vinny Diesel,
Brian Connor, and Van Diesel's character Toretto.
Yeah,
Dominic Toretto. Yeah.
Those two were the main characters in that movie.
They're not about to kill the golden goose, so.
When Paul Walker died, they should have said, "No more. We're going to finish this one movie that we had that Paul Walker started before he died. We're going to finish this one and stop the trilogy."
Too much money.
If people won't stop going to see them, they're not going to stop making them.
I'm almost all set. I'm at the point.
It's at that point.
I mean, well,
earlier theme, money, cash is
the last one I watched with Paul Walker was when they went over to I think it was what was it, over to
Dubai
or something like that to take out that money mule.
Was there Ronda Rousey in that movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's the last.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
That's the last. That's the last movie I've seen in the trilogy.
It's on to. I think this is the 10th or 11th movie in the series already.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
And if people won't stop watching them, I'm not going to stop making them.
Yep.
I'm not gonna watch any more of them. I just told all my friends.
Pumping it out.
They, said, well,
they keep buying it. Keep making it.
You know.
It's a product.
You need to watch Fast 9. I said, no, I'm not. Paul Walker's not in.
Talks.
I mean, if they stop making money off of them, they'll stop making them. But until that happens,
and I was watching. Watching something on YouTube. Remember the show?
I saw it a few weeks ago. I don't think that was that bad. The worst was Tokyo Drift. Ugh.
Tokyo Drift was the best.
That was the third one.
I've honestly seen one or two guys within the last 3 months. I saw 2 or 3 of them for the first time ever. I know I must be from a different planet, but they were pretty good. But now I can understand it gets really plastic and really bullshit after a while. They're just basically just making money at this point. It was cool. I wasn't in love with the overall. I mean, it's a fun movie, right? It's not gonna win. It's not gonna beat. It's not gonna beat Goodfellas or any of my favorite movies. But it's a pretty cool premise, and it's fun, and people love it. It's fun. It's good action.
Yeah, turn your brain off for 2 hours, and
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, so I can respect it. It's not my cup of tea, but I respect it.
I was watching something on YouTube earlier. They are going to reboot some of the comedies from the 90s, like Married with Children.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matlock.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch.
No, I mean, Fast and Furious, they made a huge conglomerate, a monopoly on the movie industry. They made a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they reboot Starsky and Hutch, I'm not going to watch it. Because to me, the original Starsky and Hutch, that Gran Torino is what made the show.
No.
You can't touch that at all. Not at all.
No, nothing new under the sun.
They need to leave these classics alone.
They won't.
Seriously, yeah. No, they never will, man. Like our first theme with golf, man. Cash. That's the theme of the night, I guess.
They've been remaking movies since they started making movies, all the way back in the 30s.
What people start eating, they're gonna keep moving. They're gonna keep making whatever people like.
Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. They're gonna
making another Twister. I mean, it's a product. I don't know what y'all expect. I'll be right back.
That one's gonna bomb out. I bet you it's not gonna do as good as the first one.
Well, we could talk about the NHL finals. I'm looking right now in the first period. The little brother down south is winning 1-0 over the Golden Knights at the
Panthers.
I picked Florida in 6, or I think I picked 6, and the Knights are
You said Panthers in 7, Brad.
On 7, okay. Well, I mean that's still logic, but if Vegas wins tonight, I think it's going to be a sweep. And this is the second time that the Panthers have made it to the finals. And if they get swept again, then it's over because they got swept by the Avalanche in '96. The last time that they got to the finals, they got swept by the Avalanche. So is that going to happen again? I mean, if they lose tonight, I think that there's a pretty good chance. I mean, it would be hard to come back down from 3 games to none. I mean, it's
he was now tied.
Oh, it's tied now? Okay, there you go. So Vegas just tied it up. Okay, so I mean, like I said, if Vegas does win tonight in Sunrise, because they're in Sunrise, which is about a 4.5-hour, 5-hour drive south of me.
What channel is that game on, Lou?
I've been to that arena a bunch of times.
What channel is that game on?
Well,
TNT.
Depending on what you have, TNT or TBS, depending on where you are.
It's on TNT?
Yeah.
TNT.
I'll probably turn it on and watch a little bit of it while doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1-1 now.
Vegas
just even it up.
I mean, Florida's been incredible all year. They've lost a couple of their best players throughout the process. Vegas, to me, they just look physical. They're bigger. Whatever.
That's
bigger, stronger. I know it's cliche for a reason because it's kind of true in different sports. They seem like they're more physical, which is a huge advantage in most sports.
And the Panthers have had 9 days off too, so you have rest. You have rust that you have to. And if Florida doesn't win tonight, Game 3 at home, and Vegas goes up 3 games to none,
this is it.
I think come Saturday, I think Vegas will be raising the cup in South Florida. That's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's you saw that with the Celtics. We've seen that with not to stay on Boston too much, but because I'm not whatever. But yeah, the Reds. I mean, in different sports, the Big Four, right? I mean, that 2-0, you're at the precipice, you're at the edge. If you don't win Game 3, if you get on Game 3, you're basically writing your own death certificate. They have to win tonight,
and especially if they're at home. You're in front of your home fans, and you lose
momentum,
and you lose game 3 at home. Now again, I think if they lose again, then again, like I said earlier, I think the thoughts of '96 reappear. They were swept by the Avalanche in '96. So I really honestly believe that if they go down tonight, the Knights are going to.
It's all over.
Yeah, it's
guys. I mean, guys, do you believe in ghosts, so to speak? Though, when it comes to franchises, so because obviously none of the current players lacing up skates right now, put on elbow pads tonight, playing in Florida.
Okay.
None of them were part of that roster.
Correct.
So it should be a new page. Should write a new chapter tonight, right? They weren't part of that.
Yeah, but they all got ears. They all got ears. They hear it.
They've heard the lore.
They know the
lore. They've heard the tragedy from years gone by.
Well, and Alex, too, you were talking about the Red Sox. You don't think that these 6 years of them hearing about Babe Ruth every year,
Curse the Bambino,
and then they finally
social media,
right.
Locker rooms, people walking around, people that have worked the concession stands for 34 years. They talk about it. Wives of the players hear about it. The players all know about it.
Exactly.
The ESPN specials for how many times until 04 did we see Buckner between the legs?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every April, every October.
And he still went on Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he was a graceless, he was a champion about it. God bless him, man. I mean,
gracious.
Exactly.
Outside of the finals,
like,
they did announce they're going to raise the salary cap next year.
Oh.
Wow. The NHL is raising the salary cap. Yeah.
So what?
I don't know if Gary Bettman officially announced it to what it was supposed to be. Let me see if I have that. I know that Bettman just announced that they were going to open it up. Let's see.
Okay, guys, I need y'all's help on this. For the ones that for the ones that really watch hockey.
Okay.
What in the world is a power play?
Power play?
When the other team takes the penalty.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like a flag in football.
That's when they've an odd. It's a 5-on-4. They literally G-Dub. They literally take a person off the ice, so they've got the power, right? So for 2 minutes,
they have an extra attack.
The duration is they're up a man. It's almost like if someone had a horrendous hit on a quarterback for the next 5 minutes, the defense plays with one less defender. They take a hockey player off the ice, so they have a huge power advantage. Power play.
It looks like, guys, it's going to go up 1 million. It's going to go from 82.5 to 83.5.
Soccer.
Okay.
Soccer kind of does the same thing. Red card.
And how many halves do they play?
G-Dub, soccer.
3 periods.
3 periods.
Who?
Yes,
Yeah,
3 periods.
3 of 20. 3:20.
You have 2 20-minute. Is it 2 20-minute
3:20.
in betweens or 2 15-minute in betweens?
2 18-minute intermissions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's on the power play?
Like fun to
2:15,
watch.
18 intermissions. Yep. Adam's
Is
correct.
Ford on the power
3:20
play or
overall.
is Vegas on the power play?
Glorious
Right now,
Ford
it's
being
1-1.
even better in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs is the best atmosphere. G-Dub, if you meet a G-Dub, you meet a 55-year-old woman who's never watched sports. People love hockey. Talk about casual viewers. If they go to a hockey sport, they're hooked for life. If they go to a live game, hooked. It's
And
that intense.
nothing is better than a game
And
7.
playoff hockey is another beast. It's a totally different.
Exactly.
I don't care what anyone says. There's nothing better than a game 7 in an NHL, especially the Stanley
As
Cup.
long as you win.
Yes. That's right.
It's not part of the playoff hockey. People can attest. People can argue. It's more intense than other. There you go.
I fell in love with the speed of the game. That's how I
Just
became.
win, baby. Just win. Just win, baby.
Yeah.
And sometimes they fight on here
Oh
too.
man. And the hits and
What's that, Gerald?
seeing someone lose their teeth and 2 minutes
Fighting on
later,
here.
2 minutes later they're back in the ice with no teeth. Like
That's how the game is played.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll lose their teeth and pick them up and hand them to the
indoors.
official. Hey, I lost my tooth. Then they'll have it resurged back, put it back in their mouth the next day.
Oh, yeah. It's like a sign of
In between periods.
it's almost like
Nose
the
break,
prison
and
yard.
they'll
Like,
pop it back into
the
place.
bigger
They'll
the
throw-
injury, they're going
face
back on
shield
the ice
and
in
come
2
back out.
minutes to like prove their bravado, their toughness. It's so badass, man. I mean, I love it.
Broken leg, man.
Well, look at Paul.
It's 1-1.
Look at Paul Correa getting
Obviously,
knocked
football
out
is top
by
of the
Scott
line.
Stevens,
I can't-
and it comes
who
back
can
and
ever
scores the
not
winning goal in
the-
overtime.
the violence, the hits of football. I know, like, from Junior Seau to Brian Dawkins on a tight end dump, taking someone's head off. I know football is top of the top with devastating hits, but hockey, they literally jump back on the ice 5 minutes later. Those hits, it's even another level. I think. I mean, they're both devastatingly dangerous sports. And hockey, these guys don't hit the injured list. They play the next shift. They go out 7 minutes later, they're on the ice. And they skate 14, 15 miles a night. I got respect for that sport.
They go from the hardest hitting sport to a sport that gets paid the most, and they don't do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, what do you, Lou? You're always plugged in big time with hockey, man.
You see them going all over the ice, and you're like, okay, well, y'all slow down so my ice can catch up.
You got to go to a live game, Gerald, to watch it. It's really fun to watch.
Watch it in person.
Yeah.
Y'all need to chill for a minute so my ice can catch up with what y'all doing.
We need to come down to Austin and then drive to Dallas, and you can go to a Dallas Stars game.
Come on,
I'd love to see that myself.
Boys fan.
I would love
Keep up.
to go to a live hockey game. But I learned my lesson one time. If you go into a hockey arena, take a jacket with
Stars,
you.
baby. Mike
cold in
McDonald.
there.
No.
Yes.
No. Yeah. You don't need a jacket.
You wear your jersey. Where are you?
I don't have a hockey jersey.
I went to a Wings game and I was so hot. I had to take my sweater off. I was so hot. Well, I was sitting way up top too, so.
Well,
But high school hockey, you definitely want a blanket. High school hockey is incredible. No, I miss high school hockey.
I haven't been to a high school hockey game. I'll have to see when they start the school year back up when that happens, because I'll definitely go see one of those.
High school hockey is so much fun. Those kids have so much passion. Not to say that the NHL, those guys don't have passion, but to watch 15, 16, 17-year-olds out there playing for the love of the game,
College,
so good.
College hockey is so exciting.
I've been to a few high school football games, and let me tell you, those kids. I mean, they hit harder than the college and pro do.
What's a religion in Texas? That's why.
That's amazing.
It's a religion in Texas.
Oh yeah,
It really is.
High school football is a religion in Texas. Every Friday night, they mark the calendar. Yep, going to that game.
Down here in Austin on a Friday night.
No way! I've never heard that. Really?
all these little stores around the schools
Close.
They shut down, and if you want anything, you can go to the football field and find them at the high school stadium.
Yep.
Up in Odessa, Midland, up in there, the whole town shuts down on Friday nights for high school football.
That is awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love
about that.
The same thing in Alabama. Alabama's just as bad.
Yep.
Wow. It's a religion down here. High school football.
That's really cool.
If you gas before the football game starts, you better get it between the hours of 4.
So bad it's good.
6.
It's incredible.
If you try to get it at 6,
I'm going to be calling high school football this year, so I'm really excited about that when the season rolls around.
If you try to get anything at 6 o'clock up in Odessa, Midland area, forget it. You ain't getting it till the next day.
Right. You better be able to get it at Walmart because you won't be able to get it anywhere else.
Yeah, Brad's doing a little Jim Nance. He's ready.
Yeah, I can't be like Jim Nance. He's too quiet.
You can't be Jim Nance. You're not Jim Nance. You got to be Bradley Walker.
Who's the best high school team, G-Dub, where you live, around there? Who's the best one?
Sports announcer I've seen so far is Tony Romo.
Hi, Tony.
No, he's too reserved.
But I keep telling Brad, he ain't got to be Jim Nance.
I'm kidding.
He ain't got to be Al Michaels.
Obviously, Brad's gonna be.
But he's got to.
I'm just kidding around.
No, I'm just saying. You can't try to be somebody he's not.
Coming from a Cowboys fan, I can never expect that. Coming from a Cowboys fan.
He can come out of the booth and be an OC. That's
Come on, man.
how smart Romo is.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, guys. My idol, I have 2 of them. One of them passed away. Vin Scully was by far one of the best voices ever.
I honestly really like
so
Romo.
soft.
Romo's been awesome.
He could fill dead air. But the current
Romo.
one that I love is Jim Romo.
I liked him when we were stacking him and burying him, but I like Romo on it with a headset.
I'm so glad that Jalen Hurts did not get the cover of Madden 2024.
Nope.
Josh Allen. Who got it? Josh Allen. Okay.
Because in my opinion, Jalen don't deserve to be on any Madden covers right now.
No.
Should I change the logo here from the MLB to the NFL so you guys can argue back and forth about that? I can do that real quick. Hang on a minute. Let me bring that up. We can talk NFL if you guys want to.
Yeah.
What are we about a month away from?
A month and a half.
No.
It starts in August.
OTAs have already started.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. OTAs have already. Yep.
No, Philly.
OTAs.
Philly. Look at this.
Sometime in July.
Oh, G-Dub hates her.
He's wearing my John McClane shirt.
Fresh up his first of many Super Bowls.
This is what I think about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Gentlemen.
Eagles.
The Bucks moved Tristan Wirfs from right to left tackle. I can't wait to see how that's going to work this year.
Yeah.
And Baker.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Mayfield's already running for his life. It has nothing to do with his offensive line. He just that's how he plays.
You know what?
I say this, Gerald. It's all good.
The funny thing,
show respect, man. I show respect
about the Bucks is you have the Rays, right? They are in one of the best divisions in all of baseball. The Bucks are in the weakest division in football.
Yeah.
NFC South is the weakest. Those 4 teams,
Yep.
they're not good. None of them. You tell me which of those 4 teams is good. Carolina and Atlanta are both fairly new, the young. The Saints have a new quarterback. They play defense. Okay, you can't win. And the Bucks, they have to start from scratch. So tell me which of those 4 teams would you even predict to go to the Super Bowl? None of them. Not
Brad,
any of them.
Let me shoot a shot. Let me shoot a shot.
They're lucky.
If they're lucky. Let me give you one. Falcons. 3 drafts in a row. 3 really good number 1 picks of skill people. Gibbs this year. Pitts, incredible transcendent tight end. If they actually utilize him in the passing game, they've been putting him online. No, Falcons have a lot of talent. Falcons also signed a lot of people. Yeah, we're talking about a division that's kind of mired in mediocrity, G-Dub. We're not talking about the AFC East of baseball. Or we're talking about. Sorry, we're not talking about the AL East of baseball. We're talking about kind of a muddied division in football, right? Where all those teams are predicted to go about 8-9 wins. Anyone can win that division. I like the Falcons if they get the quarterback set. That's a big question. I mean, Desmond Ritter is going to be starting from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got Desmond Ritter.
Now, if you look at their receivers, their tight ends, their running backs, they're pretty good. I'm just saying they got a shot. I'm not looking at the Super Bowl. I'm just saying they can win the division.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, they can win the division, maybe. 9 wins.
Not unless they get the quarterback set, and I don't see that happening this year.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so let's look at the rest of the division. You think Bryce Young is better than Desmond Ritter? No.
Oh, yeah, it's a big question mark.
Do you think Baker Mayfield's better than Desmond? Or you think Baker Mayfield's better than Desmond Ritter? He hasn't shown it. And I don't. And Derek Carr. No. Derek Carr is washed up.
Well, I don't. The one thing about Ritter right now, he has not shown me anything.
No, legit.
Yeah, but he was in a transition period. The problem is that it'll all come down to coaching, as it always does.
He raised Cincinnati Bearcats. Who in college football respected Cincinnati Bearcats?
They were respected for on the AAC.
Cheat up, Adam. Let me say this for 5 seconds. He made the Cincinnati Bearcats relevant in college football. He showed a lot. Come on, he's got a good resume.
Let's look at Dak Prescott.
He's got to show it on Sundays.
What does Dak Prescott have to do with the NFC South?
You're talking about quarterbacks. You're comparing quarterbacks.
We're talking about the quarterbacks in the NFC South. It comes down to the 4 that are there of Mayfield, Ritter, Young, and Carr. It's an enigma. It's an enigma because Derek Carr could shine like he did certain times in Vegas, and then he could look like he did at the end of the year, or Baker Mayfield could blow the lid off of it. Now, again, we don't know. Bryce Young is young. He's going to have time to adjust. And then you have Desmond Ritter, who, is fresh out of college? A year and a half out of college?
This is his second year.
Second year with Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta can't play defense, though. So you tell me how they're going to win football games if they can't play defense. Because they couldn't play defense.
They're going to have to shoot it out.
Yeah,
they're going to have to get in track mates and hope that Desmond Ritter can keep up. Mariota.
Well,
the Falcons signed and drafted a couple.
They did draft Tyler Heineke, or sign Tyler Heineke too.
Signed and drafted a couple edge guys and cornerbacks.
I like Heineke when the Falcons
dressed their defense a little bit.
Heineke was good when he was with Washington.
The Commander.
And when it's going to come down to is who can coach up their quarterback the best.
Starting quarterback for a playoff team. I like Heineke a lot. I really like Heineke a lot. So the Falcons actually scratched that, Brad. And since you're hosting, running the party tonight. I mean, if you're looking throughout the division, it's not even necessarily Ritter. Heineke might start, and I'm saying they have 3 or 4 number 1 picks in a row. Falcons got some talent, and they addressed their defense a little bit. They didn't, add the world, but they added a couple edge guys, a couple cornerbacks. If you look at the rosters, Falcons quietly made some moves. They could win 9 or 10 games. That's good enough to win that division. We'll see.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, brother, no doubt. I mean, I agree.
I think that division's wide open. I think anybody could win 10 games in that division.
Fun team, I think.
I think anybody could go. I think everybody could go 8 and 9.
Drake London, great receiver. Yeah.
Yes.
But again, at the end of the day, it comes down to coaching. It comes down to who can take those pieces that they've assembled and coach them up the best and get the most out of them. And everyone in that division is starting over. Everyone in that division has a new coordinator, a new head coach, a new system that they have to work in. And I can see any one of those teams going 5 and 12 or 11 and 6. It's hard to think in 17 game schedules now.
Right?
That's the beauty of it. It really is wide open. It's wide open.
And
no lock. There
is no
parity. Anything can happen.
Injuries
happen.
There isn't.
Suspensions happen. Yeah. Everything happens. Falcons.
You could. The Falcons could. It could be that they could have the right chemistry and hit on something. Desmond Ridder they brought in a new coordinator.
Death taxes and
the coordinator.
Giving a face for radio.
The coordinator that they brought in may be the right guy. That coordinator may be the guy that Desmond Ridder needs to turn him, to take him from a project to a superstar. We won't know until about this time next year. When it's all said and done and the dust is settled and we're talking about the Super Bowl, we're talking about 2024, and we're getting ready for 2024, we'll know how it all shook out. And like you said, Alex, injuries happen, and when when injuries do happen, the guys rally. And, Dalvin Cook is on the market. One of those teams could go down and snag Dalvin Cook. And that makes their backfield instantly better. And we'll have to see what they do. It's a wide open division. There's not a clear front runner.
No. Nope. And the only reason why I wouldn't say Carolina is,
and it makes it fun
brand new
for the
coach,
league. Obviously, I don't think anyone's gonna debate that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's the NFC. That's the NFC South. In retrospect, yeah.
We could go NFC. We could go NFC East if G-Dub and Lou want to start trying to kill me. We could go NFC East predictions, but we don't have to do that tonight.
Adam, me and you, I think we just sit back and watch these three hash it out with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Like this, I'm throwing hands up. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go grab food or something and let you guys just hash it out. You go right ahead.
No.
You go right ahead.
You know what you're missing?
I'm not hijacking. I'm not hijacking the show. Stop it. Don't worry about that. No way. No. I'm not getting into it right now.
No, we don't have to get into it, but I want to say this.
Dak Prescott cannot shine Jalen Hurts cleats, so we're not getting into that tonight.
No,
we're not going to get into that.
The Cowboys going to go out and get all these top receivers. Okay? We got some great receivers.
They've had talent for years. The Cowboys always have talent. It's coaching.
The problem is Dak
the coaching's
hard. Cannot hit the receivers. Dak does not have the arm strength to get it down the field.
I like Dak too. I'm just saying he's not the answer. I don't think so.
I don't think so neither.
I respect the Cowboys. We always talk a lot of junk. You know that. But
the quarterback.
Big deal. We made the Super Bowl. We didn't get a ring. Doesn't matter, really. We're in the same ballpark right now. We're both going back to try to get a ring next year.
What is this?
The quarterback that Dallas has that
Rob.
I really like is Cooper
What
Rush.
is that?
I think Cooper Rush can get the boys to the Super Bowl.
Is he backing up Dak again?
Yes.
Yes.
I see. I like him a lot, and it's almost like from an outside perspective. Oh, people think, oh man, I'm I guess a loudmouth and a jackass half the time. Ask most people, but which I might agree with. But no. So when I say though, I actually, as an Eagles fan, I respect Cooper Rush. They go. Oh, you just because you're trying to make Dak look bad because you want to make him look bad. No, I think Cooper Rush is a playoff quarterback. I really do. I liked him a lot. And then they rushed Dak back. And then they, it's different than you can't go 6 or 7 games in these series in football. You get 60 minutes. They kind of rush Dak back. He throws a couple picks. Another season's done. They have to really get that quarterback right. I mean, that's my 2 cents. Dallas always has a lot of talent. They always have a lot of talent.
When Dak was out those 5 games, okay, and Cooper Rush had to come in, he won 4 games in a row and lost only 1.
He looked good.
And if you compare,
is Jerry scared to replace Dak? They committed a lot of money to him.
If you compare,
maybe that's it. I mean, Cooper should have gotten the keys to that car.
If you compare arm strength between Cooper and Dak, Cooper's arm strength is a little better than Dak's.
Cooper.
And Cooper's not afraid to take off and run.
Yeah. And if it ain't quite working, you might change it up. I mean, Cooper looked like he deserved a chance to really run with the money there.
And I'm afraid, see, we only signed Cooper Rush to another 1-year deal. I'm afraid
I wouldn't be shocked if he replaces Dak.
I'm afraid if we lose Cooper and he goes to one of our rival teams in the East next year, he's going to burn us. So I'm saying,
and I hate to put it this way, but I think Dak is very, very talented. We've seen Dak coming on. The NFL world, his teammates, the Cowboys fans have not seen the best of what Cooper can do. I think it's time to hand the keys over and let Cooper drive the car.
I've seen the best of Cooper, and let me tell you something. Cooper Rush, given the opportunity, he can be another Troy Aikman type QB.
I think you guys are looking at a bunch of 11 and.
But like you were saying, Alex,
there's more, not necessarily more upside, Gerald, but there's a higher floor. He's not going to throw 3 picks in the first half. Dak Prescott shoots Cowboys in the foot more than Indians. He self-sabotages his own team a lot. When you have CeeDee Lamb on the outside, or Tony Pollard back in the day, Zeke, they need someone who's more stable. Dak self-destructs.
Pollard's pretty stable.
Dak's had more interceptions than he's had completions.
Dump him.
In games.
Pollard.
Pollard, if he puts on a little bit more weight,
I'd turn the page. Get rid of Dak. I'd get rid of him.
If Tony can put on a little bit more weight.
Pollard's just getting started, Lou. Come on. Pollard's just warming up. He's just getting started.
Now he's Pollard's
good. But
if Pollard puts on a little bit more weight, he can be dangerous.
Yeah.
But I agree with what Alex was saying. Get rid of Dak. See what we can get for Dak.
Oh, he's a home run threat. He's he's a dynamic player. I mean, Zeke's still looking for a job.
But I keep trying to tell everybody that everybody keeps bringing up the first year that Dak was with the Cowboys. Oh, he was good. Yeah, because he had Romo in his ear. Romo is the reason why Dak was so good his rookie year.
Yes.
After Romo left, Dak started going down.
Descending.
Oh, good point.
I
didn't think about that.
I'm not saying Romo was a hot quarterback, but
I thought Romo was incredible. I mean, Troy Aikman used to dominate the Eagles when I was growing up. I'm 45, G-Dub. Don't let my face fool you. I'm not 90. I'm 45, actually. No, when I was growing up, though, Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek, I was growing up through those years. Romo was the best thing ever since Aikman. And Dak is not even close to those two guys. That's what I'm saying.
No way. Because I can tell you this right now.
Dak's not close to Romo or Aikman. And Jerry Jones has to realize that and write that off write that check off and get rid of him.
Yeah.
If Romo had the team that Dak has now, with all his talent around him, the Cowboys would have had.
Are you kidding me?
Cowboys would have had another NFC championship.
Romo didn't have that. Romo didn't have CeeDee Lamb.
No, but I'm talking about.
He didn't have CeeDee Lamb.
But I'm talking about if Romo had this team now.
Cooper.
Next of CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, of course. No, night and day. Talent, skill position right now. Cowboys right now, skill. Yeah.
Romo would have had a field day.
Now they have Cooks, Brandon Cooks.
But Dak is not the answer.
No, not even that. Let's look at the most important part of football, right? Let's look at the most important part of any football team, high school, college, pros.
Is the quarterback.
Offensive line. Romo never had any of that offensive line. Aikman had an incredible offensive line.
But look what Romo did when he had a bad offensive line.
Dak had 3 All-Pro linemen.
And Dak still couldn't do nothing. But look at
Romo never had the line. There was a gap between the Cowboys rosters. Romo never had that line. He was always getting his ass kicked by defensive pass rushers.
Had the line, but he still won games.
The issue's coaching. I don't care what you guys say.
I agree with Brad too.
Yeah,
Romo was awesome
because Jason Garrett wasn't a head coach, in my opinion. And
yeah, McCarthy's not going to help.
Mike McCarthy, once he left Green Bay, hasn't been that great either.
Not as strong.
The only reason why McCarthy was so good in Green Bay was because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers made McCarthy that good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So before you start saying you want to get rid of Dak, get a head coach that actually can coach. Because Jason Garrett was the coach before. They didn't. Jason Garrett was the coach during Tony Romo's run, right? They didn't do shit. Now you bring Mike McCarthy, and now you're gonna get rid of Dak because it's his fault, right? Blame the quarterback, right? It's not the coach.
I'm not saying all of it is Dak's fault, but Dak does not have the arm strength to hit receivers down the field for like 40.
That's coaching.
But that's coaching. That's nothing to do with the personnel. I mean, look at Tom Brady. He had nobody at wide receiver. How many were they win?
Guys?
Yeah.
There you go. Comes to coaching. I mean, that's just my opinion. You want to get rid of Dak, run him out of town, great, fine. Run him out of town. He'll go someplace to win a ring and then prove you guys know.
As an enemy, Eagles as an enemy. No, you guys. I mean, no. Garrett, and Mike McCarthy. It's like a puppet, a monkey, a henchman who will listen to his.
I'm going to say this right now, and I said it before, and I say it again. Biggest problem in Dallas.
It's like a Madden team. He's the GM. He's the coach. He's everything.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry, it's not working. It's working for the rest of the NFC.
If the fans will quit going to the games, quit buying the Cowboys merchandise.
Jason Garrett's terrible coach.
If the fans will quit going to the games, quit buying the merchandise, and force Jerry into selling the team.
Not happening.
That'll never happen.
Not till he dies.
Jerry will die in that box.
Exactly.
They will have to pry his cold dead carcass out of that box.
There you go.
The problem.
I mean, they have so much talent. They've always been so talented, and it's like after a while,
Tom Landry.
Oh, we're just like, okay, this is Jerry, and then you go from Garrett, B minus maybe, C plus. In my head, and then McCarthy looks like he wants to order another pizza. He doesn't know how to call in plays. I mean, that's a travesty. He should not be wearing a headset.
Well, the common denominator since '95. The one thing that hasn't changed since '95 is Jerry Jones.
Right.
Jerry Jones was all high and mighty because he built that team from nothing. And somebody got smart and said that it was Jimmy's team. And Jerry Jones said, oh, hell no, it's my team. And fired Jimmy Johnson on the spot and brought in Barry Switzer. And Barry Switzer won a title with Jimmy Johnson's players. And then they fell apart. And they could never get back to the peak. And they all got old. And they all left. And the game left Jerry behind. Jerry didn't know what to do because he got enamored with the running quarterback. Mm-hmm. And he's still enamored with the running quarterback. And he brought in Quincy Carter. And he brought in Drew Henson. Oh, and that was his magic bullet.
He never picked the right one. Romo was
Romo. Not going to lose you a game, not going to win you a game.
I like Romo a lot. I respect Romo a lot.
Romo was clutch. Romo was clutch when they needed to win the game.
And the problem with Tony Romo
the quarterback
was that he was so in his own head. He had to be so perfect on every play. If he wasn't perfect on every play, he's over there on the sideline beating himself up.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jason Garrett was a bumble, you know what, moron. Right. And talk about having a dirt on somebody. He must have had lewd and lascivious pictures of Jerry Jones to stay in his job for as long as he did.
Thank you for another nightmare, Adam.
That was crazy.
No problem. It's what I aim to do. And Dak Prescott.
You're hitting the mark.
Like Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback. Dak Prescott
no, he's not.
Is better. Dak Prescott is better than the average bear. I take him over all four of the guys. I take him over all four guys in the NFC East or NFC South.
83. He's an 82. He's a B minus. B minus.
I think that's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. I'd say an 87. I think I don't know what his Madden rating is, but I don't think he's that bad. No, I'd take him over Daniel Jones. No, top 15. I'd take him over Daniel Jones. I'd take him over all four guys in the NFC South.
Jones is younger with a lot less injury history, and now Jones has Darren Waller. Jones hasn't played with weapons in 2 or 3 years. No, Daniel Jones has not had a number one.
His number's 87 in Madden.
Daniel Jones had no receivers for 3 years. Guys, it wasn't. I wasn't trying to say that.
He's 87 in the Madden.
A letter. I was saying a letter grade. I wasn't trying to be a Madden. I'm not a Madden guy. All I was saying was I think Dak's kind of like a B minus, Adam.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones will be better next year than Dak.
Number one in Madden would be the 99 guys. It's the 99 rating.
Number one receiver in 3 years
in Madden.
I think. I'd rather have him than Kirk Cousins. I'd rather have him than Jared Goff. I'd rather have him than Justin Field. I would have him. He's got Justin Jefferson. He had Stephon Diggs. I mean, and he did nothing with them. Mm-hmm. I think
4 players in 99.
I'm talking about Daniel Jones. He has not had anyone close to CeeDee Lamb. Look, he went to Duke, and he has not had a number one receiver as a New York Giant. He has not had close to a number one receiver. He hasn't had CeeDee Lamb.
Thanks, Brad.
I'm just saying, this year he's Darren Waller. Daniel Jones might be better than Dak this year. Daniel Jones, Giants. I think. Yeah. I don't know. Daniel Jones.
No, I haven't seen.
Yeah, Dak's got a shattered body. Daniel Jones is a thoroughbred. He's a good athlete. He's a good athlete.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he trip over the 20-yard line. Come on.
He went to Duke. He had no receivers there. Daniel Jones.
I was going to say that,
dude,
Adam.
He ran. Daniel Jones. Adam. Again,
Daniel Jones ran out of gas and tripped up.
You think I need to kiss Adam? It's going 22 miles an hour. You don't even see that? Dude, he's one of the fastest quarterbacks.
He ran out of gas, tripped over the 20-yard line.
He was going so fast, he tripped over his own feet at the 20-yard line.
Okay.
He got eaten by the turf monster. I mean,
not a good athlete. Okay, one play. Yeah, one play.
Dak goes for 6. Yeah. Dak goes for 6.
Oh, Jalen Hurts fumbled in the Super Bowl. So
make sure you tip him.
Hurts not a good quarterback. He fumbled in the Super Bowl. That makes no sense. That's not a good.
No, I didn't. Come on. I think Dak and Jalen are about on the same level.
He fell down. He was running 20 miles an hour. Come on.
Yeah, but if Daniel Jones was so good, he should have stayed upright.
I mean, I think overall they're both kind of meddling. I think with the right talent, the right coaching, as Adam said, I think Dallas does not have the coaching. Dallas does not have the coaching.
Yeah. And who's in Washington now?
Ron Rivera.
No, the quarterback. Who's the quarterback in Dallas in Washington?
Did Kellen Moore leave? Did Dallas offensive coordinator leave, or is he still there?
Yeah, they fired him.
Kellen Moore went to the Chargers.
That'll be interesting.
Is he there? Deuce Staley, Andy Reid. Sorry, Eric Bieniemy.
No, he went somewhere else. Yeah, Washington.
Sam Howell, North Carolina.
Oh yeah, Sam Howell. That's it. Yeah. I think Dak's better, especially over an unproven guy. I think I'd rather have Dak over any of the 4 in the NFC North.
Sam Howell, they're expecting to start. Terry McLaurin's already gushing over Howell.
You got your Kobe Brislett's in there too as their veteran backup.
Whatever. He's used to falling in love with Washington football team.
Yeah, I think
someone. Yeah,
but that's coach speak for you, though. I mean, every coach, no coach in his right mind is going to go out there and blast a rookie.
No.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Jahan Dotson that they
the number 1 receiver. Dotson.
Great. Hey, Dotson's a great.
The Commanders have always had good talent. Terry McLaurin, Terry. They just need a quarterback. Talk about a revolving door. They literally cannot get a quarterback. There are 8 starting quarterbacks or 9 in the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's a quarterback wasteland in Washington.
Right. Cleveland.
If you want to compete, you need a quarterback. If you want, football 101. Yeah, exactly, Cleveland. Yeah.
Well, the problem is
you need a quarterback. That's it.
The problem is there are 16 starting quarterbacks and 32 teams in the NFL.
Right.
They just don't print. You can't print a franchise quarterback. You just can't print a franchise quarterback. And they don't grow them on trees.
You also can't.
And
Adam, at the same time,
I've never had one.
At the same time, you can't get the guy and the right philosophy and the right offensive line too. We've seen Carr's older brother as the number 1 overall pick in the franchise, the expansion Texans. Remember them? He got sacked.
He was awful.
Sunday. I think he got PTSD. He was like a non-soldier. No, you need to get weapons, coaching, and you need a decent line. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into making a good quarterback. I think.
Yeah.
There's a good quarterback. A great quarterback can do it without it. A great quarterback elevates.
That's true.
And the problem is there's only about 16 starting quarterbacks. There are only about 16 franchise quarterbacks. in the NFL at any one given time. And there's 32 teams that start a quarterback. And if you have 2 starting quarterbacks, you have 0.
Mm-hmm.
No. And the thing about Dallas and the thing about Dak is that Dak is one of those. Dak is
five decent guys competing and 0 as a starter. You need one surefire kick-ass guy, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, quarterback controversies are good. Yeah, you need one total stud. And that's the end of the story.
And Dak should be that guy. There's no reason why Dak shouldn't be a number 1 guy, a top 16 quarterback. And
yeah.
I look around. I look at the other teams in the league, and I'm like, they're about half of them. Half of them, I'd rather have that guy, and half of them, I'd rather have Dak. I mean, Dak falls into the category of who's better. Who's better at the position that you can afford to go get, and that they're going to want to give up. You know, and if we go with Cooper Rush, we have to move Dak, and where do we send him, and what are we getting for him?
Yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword, because if we dump Dak has better mobility, better pocket presence.
Mm-hmm.
Would Carr be better as the Cowboys quarterback than Dak? Would Carr lead them deeper into the playoffs than Dak?
They keep Dak. Derek Carr. They brought all those weapons to. They brought all those weapons to Vegas, and they tried to build a team around Dak. They gave him Devontae Adams, and he did nothing with it. They built an offensive line.
Carr said no offensive line. He was 7 years old. He's had no line. So, no, I mean, it's debatable. I mean, yeah, Dak purely overall, right now, gun in my head, I would agree. Dak. I was pushing the envelope a little bit there. I think, okay, then another one. How about Dak or Russell Wilson right now?
Yeah.
Right now in Dallas. Would Dallas want Russ or Dak? I mean, there's certain things you can kind of toss around, those ideas. I think Dak's got to go if Dallas wants to take the next step.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I see, he's holding back a bit. He's throwing interceptions. You know, what did he throw? 3 interceptions that first quarter, that playoff. I mean, you can't afford to put this guy out there in the clutch. And I like Dak overall. Yeah. And I'm supposed to be biased, but dude, I love players from different teams. I don't go, oh my god, I hate the NFL. No, I respect pro players. Dak's a really talented player. I think he could resurrect his career and be better somewhere else. I don't know. Gerald, would you take Russell Wilson or Dak? You're back. Russell Wilson or Dak?
Honestly, I would have to go with Dak.
I think so too.
Cool.
I'm just 50-50, honestly, because
and Lou,
the question I have about that is was last year a fluke, or is that the Russell Wilson? Was last year a fluke, or is that Russell Wilson now?
He looked bad. Yeah, he looked bad. Wow.
And Dak may not be a world beater. He may not be the next Troy Aikman or Roger Staubach, but if you calm him down, and I think the problem in Dallas has been the coaching for the last couple of years. Kellen Moore and his wacky offense. Yeah. 2 years ago, Kellen Moore was the next a future head coach. Everybody had him pegged to be a head coach. And now, he's in San Diego or LA.
San Diego.
I know, right?
We always call them San Diego.
But if you look at it,
same thing.
I can't pull the trigger on Cooper Rush because I don't trust him. my problem is that he's been a backup, and when you put a backup out there, everybody steps up. Everybody gives 110%. Everybody works a little bit harder. Everybody tries a little bit more because the starter isn't out there. Because that number one guy isn't out there.
Adam.
And so you get a false sense of security that the new guy
what you're saying
is the guy.
I build on your point, man. When
It's
you can't trust the backup until he does it. Well, let him. He has to prove it right now.
No.
You're not going to know until you see Cooper Rush for 3 months play in the snow or play at San Francisco or beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. You got to give the guy a chance, or else you're right. You'll never know. He needs a shot.
And then you have to look at who he beat. Yeah. Who did he beat? How did he beat them?
Needs a shot.
Who did he beat? How did he beat them?
So he's never done it. Come on. He's never done it, so he deserves a shot to prove it.
Well, if he won, well, nobody else trusted him either. You know, there were plenty of teams that needed a quarterback.
Really good for a couple games.
That's the problem. He's looked really good for a couple of games.
Yeah.
It's not enough. He's played 10 games in the last 3 seasons.
I mean, I think, and I think Jerry Jones.
And you're going to take your.
That's why they brought him back. I think there's going to be a changing of the guard under center. He's going to be starting quarterback at Dallas Cowboys.
I think
so.
I just don't. Your $40 million man is incredibly hard to get rid of.
Cut bait.
A guy that commands that kind of salary.
Yes.
You're gonna just die with him. Just die with him. You're just gonna die like an albatross on an island. No, you be a better man and go. You know what? I messed up. Let's move off him. Or you can just sink into oblivion. They have to.
Well, it comes back to money.
Your losses. Cut your losses.
But it all comes back to the money. At the end of the day, it's all about the money.
Jerry's too proud.
And if you move on from Dak Prescott in the middle of the season, if you send him somewhere else, you have to find a dance partner and you're gonna have to retain salary, and but you have to eat all that salary. Even if you cut him, you have to eat all that salary.
Okay. You've seen Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins just get cut 3 or 4 years ago. They were worth 2nd or 3rd round picks or 1st round picks. You don't have to demand a trade. Just move off him or just bench him. Just bench him. Let him sit like Deshaun Watson. Are they married to him? They have to die with Dak Prescott jerseys on their whole life. Move off him and
yes, it's the money. You can't.
We have to start him. They don't have to start anyone.
No,
they have to start him.
Yes,
come on, man.
You're paying him $40 million a year.
Yeah. Okay. They have to start.
It's the money.
We've seen players in many sports get benched,
yes.
regardless of their contracts. Okay, no one's married to a starting lineup. No one's gifted the ability to lead a team. If they underperform, get out of town. He could sit for a year. Look at Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson was suspended for extracurricular activity off the field.
Okay, not the best thing I should have pointed at. What I'm saying, though, overall, though, if someone's really underperforming and they have the chance to upgrade, they can let them sit for a while. And yeah, like you said, find a dance partner, find a trade partner. But, I mean, they shouldn't have to let Dak start for his duration of his contract if he's not performing. Cooper Rush, give him a shot. You know what I mean? It's not going to make Jerry Jones feel good or look good. But he might actually save, he's going to have some egg on his face, but he might finally say, you know what? Let's try Cooper Rush for a little bit. I'm just saying, if they win 9 games again and get smoked, if they barely get in the playoffs and get smoked again, Dak's done in Dallas, I think. It's coming up soon. I mean, G-Dub, would you start him still or give Cooper a ride?
That's hard to say.
And Lou, you too, man. I'm sorry. I know you're a Dallas fan too.
right? I say mention with Cooper. I mean, Prescott really has to go. He's a has-been. Cooper is the cover
It's
is
gonna
the
suck
Cowboys' future.
if you gotta sit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, Vegas just scored another goal.
but I
2-1.
mean, you can't say you just can't stay married to Dak just because he's got that money. That's all I was trying to say, Adam. And I made a terrible example with the Deshaun Watson. That made no sense. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
If Vegas wins this game, we can basically say it's over.
Yes.
Yeah. And everything but academic. It's all academic from there. I just don't see how you can take a $40 million player off the field.
Uh-huh.
And to go with a guy that's not proven.
Yeah. You have a good.
If we're at the end of the year and they're 9-8 and they miss the playoffs, then we can talk about it. We can talk about it again in January if Dallas is sitting. It depends, because if they're 4-5 and Dak has looked bad, but Russ looked bad, and they didn't pull the trigger on Russ.
What if they're 1-5? 1-5 early on.
1-5.
You pull a plug.
A big problem.
At 1-5.
Marshall.
Dallas always does a good job of stealing wins, though. They're always like 4-2. They're always in the mix for whatever reason. So it's tough.
I don't know, because
if he bottoms out, then you make the move.
He'd have to bottom way out.
He didn't look healthy mentally or physically. He looks like he's shot upstairs and downstairs. That's what I'm saying. He feels the pressure. His body's not the same. I respect Dak. I think he's a good guy overall off the field too, which is always important to me. His injuries are gruesome. It's not the same guy coming out of college. Not the same guy.
No.
And Jerry's not, turning 55 next year. As the owner, he might be making a move soon. I don't know.
It depends on why we're 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we're 1-5 and he's got 6 touchdowns and 12 interceptions and 325 passing yards, then yeah, you might consider it. Going with Cooper Rush, sure. At least for give him take a week off, let him
a jolt,
let him sit. But
it's a precarious. It's a really tough. It's a really tough predicament, but it might come up down the road.
What a predicament!
But the problem is that if he's 1-5 and you bench him, he's done. He has absolutely no value at that point, and you're just going to lose that $40 million. You're going to have to eat that $40 million, and then we,
sports have been and you don't stay married to a contract.
Yeah, you do. That's the problem.
Okay, then
you are married to that contract. That $40 million. You can't just go, you stink, so we're not paying you that $40 million. That money's guaranteed. You are, by the very definition of married to that contract. It's one thing. It's one thing to cut a guy at $7 million or $10 million. You can move the money around.
Yeah,
and you can make those cuts.
I'm saying overall, every Sunday, you don't stay married to it.
You broke up. I couldn't hear what you said.
We're gonna let him start every game because we're paying him a lot. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm saying obviously you don't stay married mentally and overall as a team. You stay married financially. You have to stay married to him. You're locked up. But
Russell
doesn't mean you have to stay committed every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to start him every week. You can sit him and just pay off that contract and just say, you know what? I messed up. That was a terrible gamble. Dak, good luck. Yeah. But, dude, I thought you were maybe saying they can't play Cooper Rush because they have to stay committed to Dak. That's absolutely preposterous. They can move off Dak tomorrow. It's not about money.
It-
It's about
It's
wins.
yes, it is.
And there's
You
hockey
can't.
teams, football teams, basketball teams, pro sports. Bad cap, bad contracts happen. Bad contracts happen. You
At,
don't stay married to a
at
player.
the end of the day, and if you don't
You're
play
contractually
Dak,
obligated to the player, but you don't let him start. You don't give him a starting job if he's not performing.
you've already paid him.
If he's not performing. Yeah.
You can't
So you might
just
as well
not pay him.
Okay, cool. NBA Evan Fournier.
Why didn't the Denver bench Russ stunk up the joint last year.
3 months makes $20 million a year.
Russ stunk up the joint last year. He was awful, and he started every game because they were paying him.
Russ in Denver? What are you talking about? Lakers? Or what are you?
He's referring to Russ.
Dak was.
Yeah.
Russ where? Lakers or what? Or what? Where?
In Denver. He was awful.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry, Denver. I think you're talking about Westbrook. The first year coach, first year experiment, first year plan. Dak, we've seen this tired story, this B-list movie for the last 8 years, 9 years. Time for a new start. Kind of a new situation. You know what I'm saying? If Russ is terrible, if Russ looks awful, Adam, through the first 4 or 5 weeks this year, bench him. Obviously, I'm just saying, I agree with you. They have to stay married to him financially. I'm just saying they don't have to gift him a job to start every Sunday. That's what I was trying to say. They can swallow a painful pill and say, you know what? Maybe Cooper Rush is better for us to win more games. It doesn't mean banish him and cut him, but I mean, after a while, maybe give someone else a look. If Russell Wilson sucks and the Broncos are 1-7 or 2-9, you're damn right.
Yeah.
I mean, watch.
They were 5-12.
Start the second string quarterback.
You can't.
Too. Jerry Jones wants a puppet, so the coach is going to have no say. It's going to be Jerry Jones making the decision. So
yeah,
the issues in Dallas are so much bigger than a quarterback. They're so much bigger. I'm sorry we disagreed like that. I wasn't getting my point across well enough, Adam. I agreed on staying married. It's just I don't think they have to start him because they don't have to. They can go Cooper Rush. They'll keep him, but they don't have to start him if he struggles. That's what I was saying. We've seen other quarterbacks do that. I mean, if you're the big name quarterback and you're really, really, really sucking ass, pardon me for an impressive phrase there. No, we've seen other guys come in, a spark plug off the bench, a Heineke. We've seen that a million different times in different sports. They're not going to – Dak Prescott's not guaranteed a starting job every Sunday for the next 5 years. That's absolutely not the case.
Not at all.
His job is perilous. Shaky grounds.
Very shaky.
And with that, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Lou, do you want to go ahead and
Lou, you're a big-time Dallas fan. All right.
Okay. And for you big-time Dallas fans out there, everybody else, the In-Air Sports Show will be on, of course, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number to call is 512-543-4662. Yeah, we'll continue our discussion with the finals of the NHL and NBA, which is going down to its final days, I should say. We'll take a look at the French Open because the semifinals for the men's and the finals for the women are this weekend as well. We'll also take a look, of course, at the USFL. We'll discuss more on the PGA LAV merger. It's a very successful merger. Plus, other PGA. We'll also recap, of course, the fifth major, aka the Memorial. We'll also do a tribute to, of course, to the Iron Sheik. For all your wrestling fans out there, Steve Davis is gonna love this, of course, and WNBA and all that. And on next week's show, it's gonna be a very special show. I'm not gonna go into too much detail this week. Of course, some people already know, but it is gonna be a very special show on the 17th. So I'm urging everybody to call in if I can get them all in, and because it's a very special show, for a very momentous occasion. And that's all I'm gonna say. You want more information? You'll have to call this show and find out on the 17th. Sorry.
There you go, Lou. Don't give it away.
Nope.
With that being said, guys, I want to thank everyone who tuned in this evening, whether on Facebook or LinkedIn. I didn't share it to the YouTube page live because I think we get more views if I put it on after the show is over. I will do that at the conclusion. Thanks again to all our sponsors and all the networks that allow us to do this every week. It's been great. A lot of laughs on tonight's show. Thank you, guys. With that, everyone, please have a safe weekend. Everyone, stay safe out there. Thanks to our men and women of our armed services and our first responders. Thank you for doing what you do. We do appreciate it. We'll be back next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, guys, everyone, be good. Peace.
Cut, print, send it.
Yeah.